Man, we got to, the name of the show is The Odd Couple. So, the whole premise is an odd pairing. We might be getting an odd pairing next year, at least according to some reports that there may be.
Or NFL writers with nothing else to write about.
Might be some things going on with Aaron Rodgers and a Bill Belichick match that could happen next season. But Aaron Rodgers, of course, doing his weekly appearance on Pat McAfee, talked about some things and talked about next season and saying that if he were to come back, well, this is where he would be. Hit that for me.
As far as my future goes, I haven't told anybody in my life that I want to play in 2025 and not on the Jets. So that's 100% false. I actually said the opposite. I said that I'm going to wait and see what happens with at the end of the season, and if they want me back, and what happens with Brick, and what happens with the offensive staff, and obviously the GM at the time, and then they just fired Joe. There's a lot of things out of my control when it comes to that, but I've really enjoyed my time in New York. I mean, obviously we haven't had the success that we've all wanted to have, but I've made some great friendships on the team. I've enjoyed living in Jersey. I've enjoyed time in the city. I've enjoyed getting to know the fans, and I came here to win here. So I'm not jumping off ship, I definitely want to play and not in New York. I don't even know if I want to play yet, but New York would be my first option.
The part about me that I keep hearing him say, if I was another team, is like, I don't even know if I want to play yet. And I get that because he's an older player. He's
40 years old. That's natural.
And obviously the team is losing, so it's not like it's the most fun in the world. They're winning right now where you're like, I'm definitely coming back. This has been a rough season for he and the Jets. So there's been also some reports that are saying if he were out there, that they were saying the three teams you'd look at. You look at the Raiders, Rob G, your team. You got the Saints, and then you also have the Giants as the three teams that could possibly be where he is. And
I just don't see the Giants.
The Giants?
I just don't.
Well, I mean, why not? If you're saying Aaron Rodgers is saying the Giants. Like which, meaning if I'm the Giants, I don't want him, or if I'm Aaron Rodgers, I don't want to play for the Giants.
I just don't see that. It's either if he's going to stay in New York, he'll play for the Jets. I just don't. Really, like he's going to – I know this story is about him and Bill Belichick going to the Giants. It sounds like NFL writers trying to come up with something interesting. I just don't – where's the legs to this?
To them? Well, I mean, the only thing would be there are already reports that they're saying they're starting to get louder that the Jets may move on, and he just move on and just basically – wipe their hands clean, wipe the slate clean, and just say that, it didn't work out, let's just move on, part ways. Which is not crazy. I mean, at this point, they've given it. Last year, it was nobody's fault. He just got hurt. This year, it's just not been a great season. Been terrible, in fact, for just the whole squad, the whole organization as a whole. So it makes sense that they may just want to both clean slate and go elsewhere. My thing is they start to tie into Bill Belichick in this as well, who's just kind of doing TV, doing commercials, just out and about, doing podcasts, just kind of buying his time until he comes back. I don't look at it, to me, I don't want the both of them together. I don't want that. I don't want, if I can see a team saying they may want Aaron Rodgers, I actually can see a team saying they want Bill Belichick more so. I don't want the pairing of them two. And people are saying that, Aaron could be a stopgap for Bill Belichick. You get a guy for a year or two, you become the winningest coach, he can help you do that, and then you both move on. I'm not interested in both of them. I want to find my guy, both meaning coach and quarterback. So for the future, because Aaron Rodgers, Hall of Famer, first ballot, one of the greatest, most talented players at any position I've ever seen. But at this point, he's not what he used to be. So I don't want to start and go in with this. If you're the Saints or the Raiders, if I'm the Raiders, I don't want to get Aaron Rodgers for a year and that just be that. I want to find my guy. If I'm the Raiders, can I find my Justin Herbert, my Lamar Jackson, my Patrick Mahomes, have my guy for the next 5 to 10 years? So I don't want to necessarily retread. Not that if you're the Raiders, like you need to establish something and start moving forward. And just to get somebody, just to get him because he's available, we can have a big name. And just, man, you need to start and find your identity and build your thing.
Have you seen how many bad teams there are where they got coaches who don't have any track records? I'm just saying, it's littered. You want to go to the Panthers, you want to go look at the Bears situation. I could go through 10, 12 teams. There's a lot of bad coaching going on. So that's the only reason why a guy like Bill Belichick will get, despite, I understand what you're saying, but there's always somebody who, remember, it ain't about trying to win 8 years in a row. It's about trying to win and put something together and have it work. And that's
But why not, though? Meaning, I'll give you an example.
But that's why I'm just saying, like, if you have a team and you think, you know what, and I'll give you a perfect example. And the Pistons.
Mm-hmm.
They had Rick Carlisle. They made a move up. This is before they won in 2000.
Yeah, they got Larry Brown.
They got Larry Brown, right? What are you doing? You got Rick Carlisle was your guy. You're the one who gave him their first head coach. They thought they could upgrade at that situation. What did Larry Brown do? Came in. They won a championship that year. I'm just saying.
But that's not an apropos example.
No, but I'm trying to tell you.
I hear what you're saying.
No, you were just saying you want your own guy. They had their own guy. They gave Rick his first head coaching job.
Yeah.
So did they not have their own guy?
But what I'm saying is the reason why
won 50 games.
But that's the reason why it's not quite the same. I get what you're saying. We brought in Larry Brown, a Hall of Fame coach. But the difference is the Pistons were good. And that's why the fans were shocked, because they had been good for a couple of years.
No, but you might think that your team is really better than it is, and with coaching and upgrade, you could be better. That's what I'm saying in the NFL.
But my point is, if to me, Rick Carlisle, which ended up going on to be, and it still is, a really good coach, ended up winning a championship. So you want to get, they got Larry Brown for what, another 2 years, then he dipped out. And it was worth it.
But that's my point.
And they won a championship, and especially
getting
Landon Rasheed Wallace was huge for them in the trade deadline, one of the greatest trade deadline pickups in any sports history. But my thing is, build something. If you want to stay, let's stay in Detroit. Go get Dan Campbell of your ilk, whoever that may be, and so you can start to build a program, a thing. Where you just go Aaron Rodgers. Okay, get Aaron Rodgers. Okay, I'm going to go get Bill Belichick.
But before Dan Campbell, they tried to do that. They gave Marty Mornhinweg his first head coaching job. They gave Schwartz his first head coaching. The Lions went through 20 people.
First of all, Matt Patricia is the worst of all time.
Matt Patricia,
that was just dumb.
But Matt Patricia, I could go on. Like, there were so many guys they gave an opportunity.
But that's what I'm saying. You got to get it right.
Rod Marinelli. Oh, let's see. He's a coach. Pound the rock. Rod Marinelli and never coached at any level. They thought they found a diamond in the rough, and he was going to be that guy. And that's what I'm saying.
But my thing, what I'm saying is, until you got it. So they got it right when they got Dan Campbell.
No,
if you just go get Bill Belichick for a year and a half, 2 years.
If you win, you don't care about that. And I'm not saying that automatically if you get Bill Belichick, you're going to win. But the idea is it's not about trying to win for 5 or 7 years. Those just are not realistic. Now, if you get a franchise quarterback and some other things are in place, that might happen.
And that's what I'm saying,
Look at the 49ers. As good as they've been, and they've been to the Super Bowl, they still haven't won.
But they're good. Easy. But that's my point, though. They found their guy. They found their quarterback. And now they're a team that every year we go, the 49ers should represent the NFC in the championship game. They are there, right? You're competing every year. You got your guy. And if you look at Kyle Shanahan, what he's been able to do with them, you got a guy who's about to get paid in the quarterback.
Yeah, but some people might say Kyle Shanahan can't finish the job. Maybe.
That's fine.
No,
but I'm saying that's like Lamar Jackson. Keep getting me there. We'll win it eventually. Just keep getting me there.
You hope. It ain't automatic.
What I'm saying is the only way to win is to get there.
Yeah, but
that give me a guy who keeps getting me there so that I have a crack at it, so I can John Elway this thing.
But at some point, though, you could say to yourself, he can't get us over the hump. There's something there. Tony Dungy had a great team in Tampa Bay, okay? Mm-hmm. Did he win the Super Bowl with Tampa Bay? No, they moved on to John Gruden.
They should have stayed. He should have stayed there.
No, they shouldn't have. When they made the move, they lost in the NFC Championship game. What they lose? 9-6? Sean King they couldn't score. Yeah. Like they made the move because they had gone. You were talking about getting there. Oh my God! Every year they picked the Bucs. Every year because you looked at the team. That defense was insane.
Yeah.
But they felt like Tony had 3-4. We can't get there. Andy Reid was in Philadelphia. You keep talking about knocking on the door. Why did Andy Reid leave? He couldn't win.
But the difference, what we're saying is, you keep going back to teams who are knocking on the door and good. I'm talking about these teams that are up there that are the Saints, the Giants, and the Raiders. They ain't knocking on no door. They ain't even a door to be knocked on. That's how far away they are. So what I'm saying, the teams you're bringing up, yes, I get it. They knock on the door. We keep getting there. Let's find an upgrade.
But my point about just going to get somebody new is that oftentimes, if you're a general manager, your neck is on the line if you're wrong. If you go get Rod Marinelli, if you go get Marty Morningwig, you see what I'm saying? Like eventually, so that's why a lot of times you talk about retreads. At least this guy, I know this guy knows how to coach. He's had some success. This guy might be.
I would be okay with the retread. Let's say
Cliff Kingsbury, right?
John,
right?
Yeah.
What happened to him? Like, oh, he's the fair-haired boy. Oh, he comes from the what's his name? From
Shanahan tree of all the
Shanahan from the Rams. Okay.
Oh, McVay.
McVay, right? He had a cup of coffee with McVay, so all of a sudden he's a hotness,
genius.
right? He's a genius. And what happened there? It bottomed out.
So, but specifically with Bill Belichick is what I'm talking about. A, his age. B, I feel as if his way is outdated, and I think he knows it. And I'm not even mad at him per se, since somebody's going to give him a chance, just because there's 32 teams, and there's not 32 coaches that you know are going to be great. So he's going to get a shot because he's Bill Belichick.
There's going to be 10 good job openings.
To his credit, he's earned that by how much he's won. But also, I'm going with the pairing of he and Aaron Rodgers. I just can't do that as an organization. To me, I don't want to pair the two of them because now it becomes a circus. It's them, it's Bill Belichick, and it's fanfare, and it's Aaron Rodgers, and it's like, what are we actually going to be doing here for a year or two? Are we actually going to be able to win? Are we actually going to build a program? Are we actually going to build something where we can be viable for the next 5 to 10 years? And that's what you want to do. You want to be what the Chiefs have created,
or you go get a no-name coach, and then he's fired in 2 years. You got to start all over again.
And I find my guy until I get him. Now, if I'm the Lions ain't been this good in my entire life. Literally.
Yeah, it just took 45 years, right?
They have finally.
They tried for 45 years.
No, they were solid.
Point.
They were solid. Jim Caldwell had them in the playoffs twice.
No,
they were
fired
solid.
Jim Caldwell.
Which I was
and
mad.
Jim Caldwell
Why they fire him for Matt Patricia?
Jim Caldwell came from somewhere else, though. He had already had success. They didn't find Jim Caldwell.
No,
Jim Caldwell took the Colts
I'm not
to the
saying
Super
you
Bowl.
can't get a guy in the NFL. What I'm saying, I don't want to go get Bill Belichick, who I don't believe is going to be coaching for the next 5-10 years. Is what I'm saying.
All he's going to coach is probably 2 years.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm saying he's going to come in, break the record, and dip back out. I'm saying if you want to turn this thing around, you find your guy. Now you have your guy. That's what I'm saying.
I just don't think there are that many your guys out there. That's the problem.
You got to go find them. And then you build it, and then you freaking get a quarterback. He ain't got to be the greatest, but you get a solid quarterback, and you start to be good for a while and have an identity. Build an identity. Build a team. Rob G., you a Raiders fan. What do the Raiders do? I don't know if they run, pass, defense. What's their identity? I don't know.
We smoke cigars in the locker room.
There you have it. And
Vibes, baby.
And just win, baby, win.